What do you consider success? What is successful? One of the subs says she makes, 6 figures. And some people probably think, if I made 6 figures, I would be successful. But to her, she's like, that's not good enough. And she said it's not good enough for her dreams. And so I asked her what was, the amount that she needed for her dreams. And then she kind of recoiled and said she doesn't want to tell too many people about her dreams because they're dream killers. And I wasn't going that much. It's not too private of a question because you can round that off and, you can say, I need 6 figures to be successful. But in her case, she already makes 6 figures, which was cool because I don't want to know how much money you have. I'm not interested in your bank account. But I am interested in the measure of success. The measure of success for every person is different. My measure of success, I lived in a 1-bedroom apartment. It was a cool little spot, but there was a bar up under it, or there was a restaurant up under it, and there was a bar next to it, and the bar stayed open until 2, 3 in the morning, and the restaurant opened at like 8 o'clock in the morning. So there was constant noise that I had to contend with, and then there was fighting, and then people were doing each other in. I mean, it got pretty bad. Police all the time, and one time there was a guy. I was with my lady friend at the time. We were just laying there, and next thing you know, pow! It was just like, what happened? A guy in a Honda Civic came through the light, and when he came through the light, he hit my truck so hard that it pushed the truck up on the curb, and he slammed it to a light pole. And when he slammed it to the pole came down on the car. So the ambulance had to come, and then the police had to come, and and then eventually the electric company had to come out and fix everything. This was all from a little Honda did all this damage, so he was rolling. And we got dressed, and, I made sure she was all right and wasn't startled. And I went out there. I looked at my car, and I was like, okay, you just hit a 98 Chevy Tahoe. This thing is metal on metal, okay? It's not a little tinfoil they driving around now talking about you're safe in. And he pushed that thing pretty good. And I wasn't even upset because why? You hit my car. Okay, you hit your car. I had insurance, full coverage, and, that whole thing happened. He had insurance, so I was good. But I just looked at him. He was sitting on a curb, and I was like, how did you do this? So, stuff like that would happen. Like, there would be all kind of stuff. One time the police, this guy stole a car, and the police caught this guy right on my corner and yanked him, broke the window, and yanked him through the car so bad that his pants literally came off. He was laying in handcuffs on the ground, naked from the waist down because he got yanked so hard. He got zoomed and his pants was left in the car. And with some probably injuries too, but he didn't say nothing. He just laid there. Nonetheless, one of my neighbors killed my other neighbors. And then he, came looking for the rest of them. I wasn't there at the time. That happened. The restaurant below me or the club below me got robbed at gunpoint. You know what I'm saying? And then broad daylight, some people who parked along the side of the street went into the restaurant, left their purse inside the car. And I came out and they start asking me what happened. And I was just like, I don't know. I just came out of my apartment. I live here. I used to get followed by the police all the time on that block. some other people decide, this guy decided to knock off his girlfriend and her brother down the street from there. So there was a lot going on. I lived there for 10 years and there was so much going on. It's a notorious street. It's better now because, you have different kind of people that live there, but nonetheless, it was a very hectic time. And I would stay with my girlfriend out in her house because it was quiet. And then, she was doing crazy stuff. So I had to eventually come back. And then my landlord was collecting rent, but he no longer owned the building. So we got a letter and it was like, put it in escrow. So we had to put our rent in escrow and no longer pay it to him. Then we never saw him again for like 2 years. We just never saw him. Matter of fact, I never saw him again. But he was collecting rent on a building that he didn't know, which was that building. And then the gay bar that was up under me off to the side, they bought the building and they illegally evicted me. So, it was crazy. While I was living there, this one guy used to throw his wife down the stairs, marble stairs. I would come outside to go downstairs and his wife would be laying at the bottom of the stairs, literally. And I would look and it wasn't like, oh my God, you're at the bottom of the stairs, because it was normal. He threw her down the stairs all the time. And it was just, they used to fight all the time. Turns out that he was, sleeping with some 21-year-old who lived next door and got her pregnant. Then the boyfriend heard about it. The boyfriend lived with the dad. And there was they all came out on the balcony and the boyfriend confronted, the older guy, and the older guy blew his head off. Yeah. Then my other neighbor saw it, so he came in and broke into his apartment looking for him. And that was the last time I saw any one of them. But I heard from the guy who ran, and he was like, it was just crazy. So success for me was getting out of there. I got out of that place into the place I live now. It cost the same amount at that time. And it's quiet. I got neighbors who don't like me. And, sometimes they want to act a fool. And I'm just like, I wouldn't do that if I were you. I'm nice to everyone, but, I don't want to be other than what I am. Please don't make me other than what I am. One chick threatened me the other day. I was like, I do not want to go back to what I was. I just don't. This is why, a lot of times you guys talk about my personality and how happy I seem. Well, there's a reason for that. It's not a facade. It's true. I am a happy person. Not happy, joyful. Joyful that I'm not in that situation. But, some sour grapes happened the other day, and it was partly my fault, but some people take it too far. I'm like, don't go there with me. But I like the quiet. So I'm gonna stop talking to everybody. Not everybody wants to talk to me. Not everybody wants to be friends with me. They don't want to be neighbors. They don't like me. But nonetheless, moving here was success to me. I don't go to work like everybody else does. I don't go to work every day. I used to go to work every day. I don't mind going to work. I just can't. But, I'm getting ready to graduate. That's success to me. I don't know when I'm going to enter back into the working world and what I can actually do within a length of time. But nonetheless, I don't need 100,000 to be successful. If I made 100 G's, it wouldn't be like, ooh, I make 100 G's. There's a lot of people who make 100 G's. And then the taxes is crazy on 100 G's. Looking at 50%. It's just taken from you, stripped from you. I don't care how many tax shelters you find. Money just yak. Then, of course, you got all the people who want you to give your money to them because they're not in your situation. And some of them are not trying to be in your situation. They just want you to, people hang out at the grocery store up the street and they ask for money, and whole families standing out there with a sign. One woman approached me and she said, her mom, and then I guess her brother or boyfriend was in the car. She approached me, asked me for money. He said, "You don't want to give me money, you can just give me gas." And I'm just thinking, that's my choice whether I want to give you anything. And the answer is no. I just told her no. I wasn't rude. I just got in my car and left. It was like, you guys are younger than me. My back hurts every day. You guys are 20. What? 20? You know what? To have a back of a 20-year-old? Oh my goodness. You guys are 20. Okay? I have arthritis. Multiple things that hurt every second of the day. I'm in pain. And you guys are 20 asking me for money. You're out of your mind. No. The only way I'd give a 20-year-old money is if they had money towards a project and I knew that project would come towards fruition. Let's say that there was a young adventurer on the block and they was building something. And I wanted to look at it as an investment, a personal investment. I might invest in something like that because they're doing something. But just walking up to me and asking me for money, no, that's not going to get it. But when you're creating something, you're trying to change something for the better, I would invest in that. I don't have no problem looking at it and going, you might got something there. Tell me all about it. Give me some schematics. Tell me the, projected, give me the 1 year, 2 year, 3 year plan, and okay. I would take my time, mull it over, and see how much I would want to invest in that. Of course, to try to get a return in the future, but it wouldn't be like, oh, I want my money now. It'd be an investment. I can do that. You know what I'm saying? A bag of chips, but just the I'll give you money and you're not doing nothing. Anyways, as far as success is concerned, I'm just curious to your level of success, because my level of success is going outside and standing there and there's no police cars pulling up on me. There's nobody harassing me. There's, I can look at the trees and talk to them, and peace is my level of success. I just don't need a lot of money. I really don't. I mean, one of these days I'll probably make a lot of money, but it's not like I need it. I need enough to get me by, and if my family needs some help every now and then, give them a couple dollars. I do that. If their help is legitimate, they might need a bus ticket somewhere. $150, boom. Hey, get from here to there, keep rocking out. Might need the rent paid, you know what I'm saying? So I might go half on it, put a little something down on it, help them out. My dad always talks about the man, people want to know if you can throw down, meaning if you have money. My dad used to make $1,000 a week back when I was 26. And he did it by working for Goodyear, 2 shifts, and then coming home and doing he had a newspaper route. He had 2 newspaper routes. So he would work for a shift at Goodyear and then come home and work 2 paper routes until like 4 in the morning. Rest for a little bit, couple hours, get something to eat, talk to his kids, his wife, go right back to work. That's what he did for years. Years. I would never do that. I would never run myself through like that for, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to do that and then they're enjoying, I'm not doing that. I'm going to do something to where I'm making a good amount of money and I'm enjoying my family at the same time with them and stuff like that. But that's where he comes from. He looks down on me because I don't work right now, but I don't care. I'll tell him in a minute, I don't care what you think. Like, hey, forget it. I don't work. What do you want to do? You know what I'm saying? What do you want to do? So what? Nonetheless, what's your measure of success? How do you measure success? Do you measure success by what somebody else tells you? I'm gonna check on my spaghetti. Rose, not Ricky Rose. It's not Ricky Rose. Rose. To all my ladies in the place with style and grace. Do you smoke trees? Are you going back to Atlanta? Do I smoke trees? No. Am I going back to ATL? Yes. I actually wouldn't mind living in Kennesaw. Kennesaw is like 40 minutes outside of the city. So yeah, I might. I've been to Kennesaw once and I really liked it. And my reaction to, my reaction to Kennesaw and the spaciousness that was there was pretty positive, although I seen a video recently of somebody who was at the university and he was being discriminated against. A woman called the police on him and he didn't do anything. He's like, why are you calling the police on me? So there could be some racism that's there. Of course it's everywhere, but I wouldn't mind studying at the university just to study. I might get my master's, I don't know. I might, I don't know, but I might get my master's. But if I get my master's, I'm gonna get it here. But I just wouldn't mind having a nice spot where it's warmer. It's not warm all the time where I live. The South is warmer, Southeast. Even though it does get cold down there, now it snows down there. And I could run in and out of the city. And because some of my experiences was bad, not all of my experience. Oh my God, you haven't sent We're just gonna call you to ask you what is success to you. So yeah, I would not mind moving back to ATL. I got family who's in the South. I got family who's in the ATL. But like I said, I would live way outside of the city. It would be, way outside. And, there's a lot of thriving jobs outside of the city. What's up, Nicole? Why not move to Houston, where you would be closer to me? You know what? If Houston had what I wanted, if I found a nice suburb to live in that was affordable, which I think that they have plenty of that, I would live there and, run around with you and hang out and eat tabbouleh salad, grab some paninis with Nicole, make some YouTube videos. Yeah, me and Nicole, some paninis. My brother lives in Texas. And I have a niece that lives down there too. And I have a sister that lives in Texas. You'll help me move? Let's go. Let's all be together. See, that's why I like Nicole. Nicole is a ball of positivity. Probably one of the most positive people I've ever met. And that's cool. That's cool. Very positive young lady. And that's so dope. But as far as leaving now, I probably, I'm not gonna leave now. But it's highly possible that I might find a couple places just to chill. I might live somewhere for a couple of years. Turn around and live somewhere else. But I need to be near a university. Yeah, I produce. I try to. Yep. I need to be near a university, and I need to be near a VA hospital because I live alone. And being that I live alone, I'm always alone, and I'm getting older, and I have injuries that aren't going to go anywhere. I can't be really, I have to rely on the VA hospital. So there has to be one within close proximity that I could get to. And also my regular insurance has to cover one of the nearby hospitals because vets go to the hospital a lot. It's not because we want to. You have to go to the hospital, man. We don't feel good. The Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, they can give it to you. Yeah, I produce, what I'm trying to produce recently is just regular hip hop. So I've just been making old style hip hop. I've been doing that a lot recently. Just I've been making some old style hip hop. And that's what I've been doing recently. I like looking for minor notes, little black keys. You hear how ominous that sounds? That sounds like something's happening. If you can find two notes to match. Not unless you're gonna do like a jazz type of hip hop. Okay, here's what this would sound like. Hold up. You took something like that. So, okay. Okay. Oh, no, you didn't. That sucked. Okay, that sucked too. Hi, Keisha Cole. Eating up all the popcorn. How you doing today? What happened to me, as far as the military is concerned, as far as my injuries are concerned, at the military, I had I had a couple operations, and once you do that, you're usually running back and forth to the VA, And then there's non-service connected, so car accidents and stuff like that. I've had a couple of those, and the last car accident just kind of put me out of work forever. So that's what happened to me. A car accident. Some guy pulled right in front of me on purpose. On purpose, black guy. It was just crazy. It was here. It wasn't in Atlanta, because I know you're going to ask me, was that in Atlanta? No, it was here. It was back in 2013. I was on my way to work. I was planning a vacation with a young lady I met in LA. I was going to go see her. And I was getting my guap together, I was getting our money together because I wanted to go out there and have a good time with her and, just treat her like a, young lady. I've never been to LA. She was like, come on out here. She lived in Soho. So I was like, yeah, I never met anybody from Soho. And, we hit it off when she was here. Pops lives here. So I was like, I'll come see you. She was like, yeah, let's go. Come see me. All that good stuff. I was like, okay, baby. Okay, yeah. So basically, I was on my way to work. I had a nice little contract job that lasted a couple of weeks. But that's all you really need with these jobs because they paid so well. Was talking, to her, and I saw, I was on Fifth Avenue. My car had got hit on Fifth Avenue before, but I wasn't in it. My truck got hit. So I'm looking, I'm looking at this car just kind of coming towards me, and I'm going this way. And I'm looking at him. Then he pulls right in front of me as if he's going to go up into the little 5 and dime right there, which I thought, okay, so I slow down just a little, and he stops right in front of me and looks at me. I just, boom. Plus it was raining. So I sailed right into that car. Just, yeah, pow. I was like, what'd you do that for? He's like, well, you were just coming so fast. No, he stopped in front of me on purpose. It got to a point where there were some white folks who had a house there. The house is still there. They're not there anymore. They walked up to me. They said, we seen the whole thing. If you want to, press charges against him, we seen it all. Like, we saw what he did. That was wrong. And his passenger was, a sister. And she got hit because the whole car, the whole front of the truck, my van hit his truck, got damaged. And, when I hit it, I was trying to veer from it when I realized that he's going to stop in front of me. I jammed on the brakes, locked up, did the ordinary, we all do, boom, deployed, bag deployed, bow, after I hit him. But my van went like this because I tried to get away from him, but he made sure I couldn't get away. He made sure I was going to hit him. He didn't have any insurance on that car, and he had no remorse, and the woman was sent to the hospital. So he was pretty much, he just didn't care. He had no feeling. He didn't apologize, no nothing. I was like, Lord, why? So there went my vacation. Shortly after that, I lost, the job. I lost almost all my money. I exhausted the VA for borrowing money. I couldn't go to work, and I had to sell one of my trucks that I had. It was broken down, but it was still a good truck. I sold that to get 2 months rent free. And being that I couldn't go to work, I was just beg, borrowing, and pleading and trying to get by. And this is when YouTube was paying me $100 a year. And one time, one of those checks actually came through. I was like, oh, it's October. I know I'm getting $100. I mixed that with the other money I had, went into one of them checking and cash pay things. And it's like, oh my goodness, I need and so I borrowed against my VA. And there was a sister there, and she was very nice. And she said, well, you can only get $50. I was like, well, I need more than that. She was like, how much do you need? Young lady too. I in her 20s. I said, I really need like $75. She said, you have to make sure you get it back to me. I said, I promise you. You give me this, I promise you I'll get it back to you. She gave it to me. I went and paid my rent. I had 30 more days to figure out what in the hell I was going to do. And you gotta be more careful. I hear it right. And what did the police say? The police didn't really say anything. Hold on, I gotta check up on my spaghetti. On top of all spaghetti, all covered with cheese. There's my meatball, my pulled cheese. On top of spaghetti. So basically, police didn't say anything, but if I would have been done for it, would have been vehicular homicide. He did it on purpose. I didn't take him to court. My insurance did. They collected from him. And then they tried to collect more from me because of it. I'm like, you guys are something else. Now you see those punishments, see those commercials about insurance punishing you because you got in a car accident, but somebody else's fault. My insurance did that. Anyways, so who was at fault? Oh, he was. I wasn't at fault. I did nothing wrong. But anyways, so right after that accident, I went on Facebook and said I just got in a car accident. Somebody I've known for 30 years said, call a disability lawyer. I was like, why? She said, just do it. So I called one. Lawyer showed up at my house. I went online too. I just went online, looked up a disability lawyer. Showed up at my house and was like, this is what's going to happen. I was like, okay. He said, you're going to this is going to take 1.5 years. You're going to get denied 3 times. So you're going to get denied twice. On the 3rd time, you're going to get it. I was like, really? So I had to wait 1.5 years. And what he said was true. The 3rd time, I was awarded. And that was that. That was that. That was that. Yep. Is that your dog? Yeah, Nicole likes dogs. Turn this kick up. I got class at 6. not so much swing. I'm going to go. All right, I'm gonna make it. I like the swing, but I'm not. Now I could change instead of going got the kicking bump 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 to make it more hip hoppy. My spaghetti's not gonna be done in time. So instead of going, I'm gonna make it something else. Almost like that. Anyway, so what is your level of success? How do you measure success? Who's successful? Now that's new age with an old age. What's your measure of success? I like that. Bing, bang, bong, bing, bang, bong. Catch you off guard with that. Do some upright bass. How that success is there. I agree with that. Success is achieve all your goals in life. Or yeah, okay. Yep. What up? I don't like the upright bass though. You know what I want to throw in there? I'm throwing some 808. I know. I know. No 808. Okay, no 808. I don't like the way the 808 sounds with it. Are you successful? It's Red. Are you successful? Do you consider yourself successful? Are you successful? Are you successful? Are you successful? What does it take? How much money does it take to be successful? Okay, that sounds like success. An executive chef, somewhat, still trying to leave my goals. How much do your goals cost? Not a personal question, but it's a personal question. How much are goals? 150,000? 500,000? 900,000? your goal? 50,000? 590,000? Somebody gave you $1 million. I'm sorry, I was jamming. Sorry, Lakeisha called, I was jamming. Good money war. God money war. Tony, what do you mean by war? I'm sorry, what was I saying about war? What did I say about war? Steven. What's up, Tom? What up, Nitro? Nitro is the man. Nitro lives in ATL just like Red Red. Still aiming towards my goal. Have been successful in some things, but keep moving towards others. Okay. I mentioned war, did I? I'm sorry. Trying to figure out what contents I was talking about with war. Love is a battlefield. I don't know. I'm sorry. No, Tony. Oh, okay. I was like, did I say war? I was like, I don't ever say that. Oh, okay. Okay, so pick some piano. I like that. If you had a little pizzazz to it. A little pizzazz to it. So many minor notes. My back still hurts, but thanks for asking. My back is always gonna hurt. I need one of them little Asian women to come and walk on it. Actually, I'm gonna see if my insurance company will pay for masseuses. Masseuse! I need a masseuse! Bing, bing, bing. Yeah, I'm gonna see my masseuse. See if I can get a masseuse. Looking for natural remedies too. So hip hop. Old style. Why are you oh, I'm like, why do you sound like that? Right. Go get a massage at a massage parlor. They will rub your back with some essential oil. Why don't you come and do? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I might. I gotta do something, but I need some elbow. I need some of that deep. I need some of that. Yeah, I need some of that elbow, baby. I need somebody to come in like Hulk Hogan. Can you smell what The Rock is cooking? Boom! My back needs, I need the good stuff. Right. I need some of that. Can you smell what The Rock is cooking? Yeah! I don't need no lightweight. I need some of that. Don't play with me, girl. Don't you play with me. Don't you play with me, girl. Shoot. I have a drum machine, but we don't use that word on my channel, so I'm gonna hide that, but I'm gonna allow you to stay on the channel. What I say, Red? I'm just saying. Shoot. You got to come with the meat and potatoes with this back right here. I used to work in a factory. All right. Okay. Picking up that metal every day. Every day, 8 hours. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I can still do it. It just hurts like that. I mean, I can pick up a refrigerator. Literally. I'm not even playing. I was delivering refrigerators by myself. They was like, you want help? I was like, no. I was like, I know I'm 50 years old, but I'm still strong. Let me do this. They're like, oh, okay. Why won't you let me help you? I was like, don't worry about it. It's like, because this is what I want to do. You don't know nothing about that, Keisha Cole. You don't know nothing about that. Don't even act like you do. Don't even sit on here and act like you know something about this beat right here. Don't act like you do. Don't sit up there and act like you know something about this. Don't act like you know something about this beat, Kiko. Don't act like you do, girl. You know you ain't never swing them hips or something like this. Girl, don't you tell no lie on this channel right now today. I'm gonna bless you. I'm gonna lick him, girl. Don't you do it. Don't you do it, girl. Don't you sit up here and tell no story. I may need 3 agents. Wong Fei, Cheng Wang, and Wong Su. All of you, get busy. Cheng Wang, don't slack on the suey sauce. Get it. you better give me all the suey sauce, girl. Cheng Wang be slacking. Cheng Wang is slack on you. I'll be like, Cheng Wang, Wong Fei, oh, hi. I'm doing, I'm making 80s hip hop. Stupid, ain't it though? We don't have enough of it going around. Well, you guys, look, I gotta go to my class and I gotta learn some math. Thanks for stopping by, everybody. I will probably talk to you tonight. I'll probably come back live tonight. All right, so talk to you guys after class. You guys are awesome, man.